What is up, my butter biscuits? So this is my very first video of 2021. I hope you guys had a really good new year and holiday season. I'm sorry that I took so long to come back onto camera. It's literally been 11 days, which is very not like me. However, I did think it was like the perfect time to just kind of like relax and just take a vacation from YouTube, which I felt like was very necessary because I worked my butt off in 2020 and I just really needed a little bit of a break, but I do apologize for not announcing that. However, I just felt like, you know what? I got so many tamales in my house. So I was like, you know what? Let me just chill out, let me just eat. And honestly, I really wanted to like, I don't know, regain focus, you know, because I feel like mentally wise, while I was diving so much into work of last year that I gained so much weight, y'all. Literally, I gained 45 pounds last year. I'm now 298 pounds. So I was like, you know what? I'm 2 pounds away from 300, which I'm like, oh snap. Like honestly, I've never been that big in my whole life. So I just felt like it was a really good time for me to just refocus myself and say, you know what, we're gonna get this together in 2021. I don't want to be like one of those cliche people and be like, oh my gosh, new year, new me, because honestly, y'all, within 2 weeks I normally fall off. But I'm gonna try, because now that I see the scale almost being 300, I'm like, let me get my life together. But anyways, that's why I just felt like it was a perfect time to just take a little bit of a vacation and just kind of like, you know, regain my senses, recalibrate, I guess you can say. But something that I always wanted to do, obviously, as you guys can tell by the title of the video, is talk about RuPaul's Drag Race within my commentary series here on my channel. This is something that I mentioned last year a couple of times on live videos as well as in recorded videos. I said, you know what, I just love RuPaul's Drag Race so much. I feel like it would be awesome for me to do commentary about that. However, I just never did it because I just kind of felt like it was outside of my realm, being that I am in the makeup industry, that I only talk about makeup influencers, you know, and those who are related to makeup influencers in some type of way. But I just thought, you know what, it's 2021, let's go ahead and start something new, try something new, because it's something that I've always wanted to do within my commentary series, and I've been doing this for over a year now, so I felt like it's the perfect time to just start talking about different things other than makeup influencers. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Farrah Moan and Trinity the Tuck, which, by the way, you guys, Farrah Moan, oh my god, I love her so much. She is literally one of the sweetest queens I have ever met. She is just so nice and just, I don't know, so humble and just super sweet, and I really admire that. However, in today's video, they are feuding, unfortunately, which I think sucks, because I look at Trinity and I'm like, y'all, she is just so talented. Farrah Moan is just so sweet and kind and beautiful, and I hate to see this. However, it is something that does happen. So within today's video, we're going to be talking about their feud going on right now on Twitter. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and keep on watching. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that way you get notified when I upload a new video. Make sure y'all give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all, so this feud actually popped off on Twitter, and it popped off because Trinity the Tuck was doing a show, or did a show. I believe it was in Florida. However, I did not find the correct information on that, so I could totally be wrong with that. However, she was commenting on doing a show, and she received backlash for this because obviously we are in the middle of a pandemic. However, I do want to say before we get into this, though, every state does have different restrictions. For me, for example, me being here in Southern California, everything is shut down. Like, we can only have takeout. We literally can't dine outside. We can't dine in, nothing like that. Being in Los Angeles County, it's super strict right now. The bars and clubs have been closed for a long period of time. However, I do want to say, before getting into this, because it does talk about the topic, Trinity the Tuck, much as every other drag queen out there, does rely on in-person gigs to make their money, and obviously 2020 was just canceled completely, and their income was put at a standstill, which I think really does suck. But we are going to go ahead and get into this because Farrah Moan did have some things and very valid points to speak out against Trinity the Tuck, which she did not take it so lightly. But anyways, this is where it all started off right here. This is where Trinity the Tuck said on Twitter, which is now deleted, by the way: unless you are going to pay my bills, then I suggest you shut the F up about me doing what I have to do to survive. I understand the situation of the world, and I unfortunately, our government can't get their S together and make it better faster. My job is no different than a server or someone who works retail or at a grocery store. Unfortunately, it's a job that requires me to be in the proximity of people. What I can do is do my best to follow guidelines and hold people around me accountable to do the same. I won't apologize for trying to survive when I haven't. And the rest of the tweet did get cut off here. I don't have a screenshot of that one, so I do apologize. I don't know what her following statement was because she was kind of deleting it right after, so I couldn't get it. But this is where Farrah Moan had kicked in and said, you know what, I gotta speak up about this. And she tweeted to her, it said, being a nightlife entertainer is not an essential job. None of us can pay our bills right now. It is so unimaginably selfish to put people's health at risk for a gig when literally everyone's trying to do their part and hospitals are starting to overfill, but whatever, lol. So I do feel like Farrah has a really, really valid point right there. However, this is where one of those things, I guess it's the rising Libra within me where I'm like, I genuinely see both sides of it. Like, I feel bad because Trinity's out here like, dang, I gotta make money, you know, like, what am I supposed to do? 2020 was completely canceled. I didn't make any money because all of in-person gigs were canceled, all bars were closed, all clubs were closed, and you know, she's trying to make money. However, at the same time, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and I do feel like when we have mass gatherings, which unfortunately is, you know, going to happen at bars and clubs, that's when the spread starts more. And I think that that's, it's just a very unfortunate situation. Like, I 100% understand where she's coming from. She has to make money. I totally get it. She's used to being on the grind. She's used to traveling and doing gigs and shows. However, right now just is not the appropriate time. But then to sit here and play devil's advocate, it's like she does have to make an income, right? Like, what are you supposed to do when all the bars and clubs are closed? Like, all of her gigs are pretty much closed throughout most states. However, I do believe down in Florida, because I think this was down in Orlando, I think that bars and clubs are open, just like I have seen before in Houston and Texas. I was like, oh snap, because over here they have been closed all of 2020, like completely. So, but I live in Los Angeles County, so that's how it is over here. So this is what Trinity the Tuck had to say back to Farrah Moan. That's your opinion, Farrah. I don't know about about you, but I'm not going to let my house go into foreclosure. Something that I worked very hard to get that I never had before. What I can do is follow guidelines as much as possible. We won't agree on this one. Sorry. So see, here's another thing too, because I do have to say, I'm not siding with either one of them, honestly. Like, I really do genuinely see both sides of their points of views. However, we do need to keep in mind that if, oh my gosh, what was I going to say, Farrah Moan? Trinity the Tuck is down in Orlando right now and those guidelines are open, then at the same time, we should be holding the government accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones having the bars and clubs open. So at the end of the day, it's a very, you know, tricky situation, I feel like, because they are open. So anyways, this is what Farrah had to say back to this. I do love you, sis, but out of all the gals, you've been pretty fortunate this year. Let's not act like you needed this one gig to save your house. Using our names to fill nightclubs right now when hospitals are overfilled is not ethical and makes us no different than the circuit gays. And then Trinity responds, you do not know my situation, girl. How dare you? So see, this is where I say I feel like I'm kind of like playing devil's advocate here, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I really genuinely do see both sides of their point of view. I really do, because Farrah's making very good points that we do need to obviously slow the spread. And obviously being Trinity the Tuck, y'all, she's a big drag queen. She won All Stars and she's just, oh my gosh, she's super talented. Like, I love watching her on the show. She's going to fill a nightclub. As soon as people see, oh my God, Trinity the Tuck is going to be at this club, I'm going to show up, you know, which can be a little dangerous given the circumstances that we're in right now. So anyways, y'all, continuing on right here, Trinity the Tuck says, F all y'all hypocrites. The end. Block, block, block. Stay mad. Say what you need to one time. Again, block. So she literally just went on a complete blocking spree. And I do want to say, I do find it a little bit ironic because a couple days ago, she actually tweeted and said, people think that you have to listen to their BS because your profile is public. No, B. Block. My New Year's resolution is to block even more people than in 2020. If you come at me sideways, I don't care what your message is. Have respect, get respect. So she's actually living up to that and just blocking people immediately into the new year, which I do think that it sucks that it's Farrah Moan, you know, because Farrah is just, oh, I love Farrah. She's so sweet. And she does have a very valid point. However, I do want to say Trinity kind of gives me off this vibe of a friend that I have of mine who is literally like, has the biggest heart in the world, but can't take any type of criticism. And whenever you try to say something towards that person, they like literally snap. And it's like, okay, like, it's valid criticism, like, hear it, you know what I'm saying, rather than blocking. But to each their own, everyone can do what they want as far as blocking, right? This is what Farrah had to say on her own Twitter. OMG, Trinity blocked me. I'm actually genuinely surprised. I tried to word everything as respectful as possible. Literally, I know people who are barely holding on to their lives right now in ICUs, and LA County has 0 beds available in the hospitals. This is the worst the pandemic has been since it began. Last thing, I am a night entertainer too. I make all my money from live gigs. I have been hurting financially too. I want things to go back to normal too. We have influence in the industry and things are bad right now, really bad. We have to do better and protect each other, which, see, I feel like she has very valid points. And honestly, look, in my personal opinion, I do feel like Trinity does have other things to do to make money. Like, I've seen a lot of queens doing like live shows on their Instagram, on YouTube, you know, to get tips and things like that. And I do think that that's something that can be done right now. Also, I believe there was a while ago, was it in the summer? I think because I follow Aquaria on Instagram, seeing that she was doing kind of like a drive-through show where everyone comes in their cars and watches the show. Things like that I feel like are very good and very safe, you know, and you could obviously still make money and do your shows at the same time. But you know, Trinity has a different point of view here. So somebody had commented to Trinity the Tuck and said, why did you block Farrah? And she said, because I'm not going to deal with anyone. I don't care who they are, disrespecting me. So this is what other people had to say right here. One person said this to Farrah Moan: I knew it would be an unpopular opinion when you tweeted it. I love both of y'all, and this is a lot. Can we just start the new year with love? And Farrah Moan replied to that: I literally said, I love you, Trinity, but you are wrong. Like, what? We have so much influence with our platform, and we owe it to our impressionable followings to be responsible and listen to healthcare workers who are desperate right now. See, I don't know, like, I just kind of like, oh, Farrah's just so sweet, and I feel like she definitely is making very valid points, but at the same time, I do want to say I understand Trinity. I really do. She's trying to make her money, you know? But anyways, but basically now Trixie Mattel even commented on it. She tagged Trinity and said, at Trinity the Tuck has blocked more people than she follows, and I'm obsessed with it. It like literally became a joke now, because if you head on over to Trinity the Tuck's Twitter page right now, she literally put Trinity hashtag the block Tuck rather than Trinity the Tuck, you know what I mean? Anyways, and she put it in her bio: I block people, get over it. So anyways, another comment that I just wanted to read right here, because I really do feel like a lot of you guys watching this will probably say the same thing, is because honestly, I thought it at first too. I was like, wait, but you're still getting like surgery and stuff. So I just do want to put this in there because I feel like it's fair. So somebody commented, meanwhile, you're getting liposuction surgery and doing gigs during a pandemic. Priorities are seriously needed. Farrah was 100% right. Every queen is going through the same thing. How do you think Jada felt? Grow up. And she, Trinity the Tuck, responded to her and said, I didn't pay for that. It was a trade for advertising. STFU B word. So I wanted to put that in there because honestly, y'all, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, wait, Trinity the Tuck like literally just got some surgeries and stuff like that. So what? You're spending your money over here. However, it was for advertising. So at the end of the day, we really don't know what her pockets are looking like. We don't know what her bank account is and how much she's struggling. And she had said within these tweets, you know what, I don't want my house to go into foreclosure. Like, what am I supposed to do during this time? It just really sucks when you're put in this situation when you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I gotta make some money, you know? So I really do feel for her. But then I do 100% agree with Farrah, you know? Honestly, y'all know how hard it has been. I'm a party animal. Y'all know I've been this way since I was like 14 years old. Partying has like just always been a part of my life and I miss it so much. However, I haven't been to one single party, you know? There has been several underground parties within LA and other places, you know what I'm saying? Like going to Vegas or Houston or Florida, and I've refrained from doing all of those things because I just feel like it's correct, you know, and I feel like during this time it would be really, really wrong because it could be contributing to the spread. But I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on this, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.